Hurting someone is like hammering a nail into a fence. An apology is removing the nail, but the hole still remains. An amends is doing the work to repair the hole in the fence as best you can and putting down the hammer and nails going forward. My old man was an abusive rageaholic. On a rare occasion, he'd offer a half-hearted apology, but he caused so much hurt that the words meant nothing. So there might have been a nail or two that got removed, but the fence was already full of holes. And given his pattern of behavior, I knew another swing of the hammer was always around the corner. It took me a long time to process and understand that it's not just about the words when it comes to our past actions. It's about the actions we take to prove our word going forward. Now look, there's a time and a place for a simple apology for a one-off occurrence. You bump into someone at the grocery store, a simple, "Sorry about that, I wasn't watching where I was going," gets the job done. But you lie to your buddy over and over and then defraud his company. Yeah, that's going to need a little more than a, "My bad, dude." Now, apologies and amends have some similarities. They both need to be genuine. They both need to acknowledge responsibility. And the giver needs to detach from any expectation for how the receiver receives them. You apologize to the person you bumped into in the grocery store and they say, "Screw off, ass nugget." Then, hey man, you did your part. The rest is their journey. But here's the major difference between an apology and an amends. An apology consists of words that look backwards. An amends commits to healthier action going forwards. The word amend comes from the Latin word emendare, which means to correct, to make better. Make is a verb, and verbs, like we learned in first grade, are actions. Amends aren't about smoothing things over with words for a quick fix. They're about taking the action to stop the harmful behavior, to live differently with consistency, and without asking for an applause break for it. So, today, think about the amends process. Is there some hurt that you might have caused, directly or indirectly, that requires an amends? If so, reach out to that person. Take responsibility for the hurt that you caused, and take the necessary actions to live differently so that hurt won't be caused again. Now, if you're worried about getting the words right, script it out first and then speak it from the heart. If you're in fear about how the person might respond, remember, it's not about getting forgiveness. It's about becoming someone who deserves forgiveness, whether you get it or not. It's about changing the patterns of behavior going forward so you're not the person who causes hurt. It's about doing the work to properly patch the holes in the fence. And it's about taking the action needed to put down the hammer and nails. Deucer out.